Welcome, everybody! How is it going, folks? We are back with another stream. Actually, some news to talk about this time. Okay, I need to take this over here because it's actually hitting the sensitive part of the mic, making a thing. I don't know what the weather is like on your end, folks, but over here in the UK, at least where I'm living, it is blisteringly hot. Too warm. That's what we like to see, PS5 blows. That's what we like to see. Absolutely, that's what we like to see. I mean, I can see that, Ghosty. I can see that. I can see that. How have we all been, folks? It's been a crazy week, especially with the news of, Microsoft bopping down with a, hey, how's the Steam going? And then every conspiracy theorist out there, what I'm really shocked about is the number of Xbox influencers that are actually saying this isn't possible, like they have no idea what they're talking about. But it's insane to me that people think GeForce Now is the benchmark and precedence of how Sony can stop it from happening. It's just going crazy. But then we've got Assassin's Creed, right? Which is doing phenomenal. Phenomenal. So it just goes to show. Make good games and people will come. In case you don't know, this game that you're seeing on screen right now is a game called Suikoden. I previewed it on my channel. Go check that out when you get a chance. Not right now, of course, because right now we're here doing the chat thing. So, what's people's thoughts on everything that's been going on? It's been it's the number of stupid I've seen online is interesting. PS5 below, I'm gonna guess that's Fahrenheit, because if it's degrees, you're pretty much melting more than I'm melting. There's a Game Awards showcase tonight. Christos with membership for 2 months. Bring on the news and PlayStation Copium. That's what I like to see. Thank you very much for that membership for 2 months, Chris. You are amazing. So what is this show that you're talking about, Ace Ventura? Are you sure your pet detective skills are telling the truth? That is the question. Let's see, you said there's a Dreamhaven showcase. Let's have a look. Some of you may see that I'm in quite a joyful mood today. That is because I've seen so much stupid out there that it's not even funny anymore. It looks like the Dreamhaven showcase was aired an hour ago. So we can have a look at that. Yeah, why not? We can definitely check that out. Wait, did this just go from 11 minutes to... Yeah, it does. It goes from 10 minutes to... We're just going to start. Interesting. Alright, so I've got that set up, so we can definitely check that out today. Oh, I need to change the URL on this one, otherwise we're going to not have a great time. So how is everyone finding Assassin's Creed? It seems... I mean, I'm really enjoying it, you know. After my antics on... on Wednesday... Was it? No, was it Wednesday last week? No, it was on Sunday, actually, last week. Where I decided to play as Naoe as a GTA wannabe hitchhiker, running in and aggroing everything known to man, and then trying to come out alive. Trust me, 10 out of 10, that is not a good idea. It doesn't end well. I'm talking from experience. Don't do that. But yeah, the style of gameplay that I was going for with that game, run through the gates, aggro everything in sight, run back out, and then try and take them all on. I assure you, for some reason, those enemies seem infinite. They don't stop. It's like there was no end to them. See, Ghosty gets it. Ghosty gets it. Oh man, it's been an interesting few days. So I guess we can start with Assassin's Creed, right? Because I want to talk about that. Since we're talking about it, we might as well talk about it, right? I guess I actually made a mistake. I forgot to share my browser screen. So let's do that right now. There's the share haven, so we can start right here. Okay, so we have Assassin's Creed, and Assassin's Creed Shadows is the franchise's second biggest launch behind Valhalla. Now, this is actually really important because by revenue, it's made a lot of money. And it is Ubisoft's best ever day on launch. Day one launch on PlayStation Network. Now, apparently the game has over 2 million players, and obviously some of these are subscription, and it is in the first 48 hours. But if what I understand is correct, because I haven't actually looked this up stupidly, so maybe someone in chat can actually confirm this, Assassin's Creed Shadows isn't available on previous gen. Is this true? Hey, Leaf. Is that true? Assassin's Creed Shadows is not available on the Xbox One and the PS4. Leaf, we were discussing how not to play Assassin's Creed Shadows as a ninja. Running around like Naruto or, you know, Kirito is not recommended. So, from what I've heard, in actual, you know, real numbers, from what I've seen, Valhalla actually did $2.5 million day one. Right? That's a lot of money. That's not bad at all. Day one, 2.5 million. No, sorry, 2.5 million copies, not dollars. 2.5 million copies sold. Now, according to the reports, Shadows has done 2.2 million, which is 300k shy. But Valhalla had previous gen and the current gen, so it had a cross gen to go with it, and it was released during the, you know, the COVID bubble where everyone was buying everything and anything because they were bored senseless and were smashing their heads against the wall because they were stuck at home during the pandemic. So, when you actually think about it, realistically, Shadows has actually outdone Valhalla. And people were saying this game is going to fail. People were saying that this game is doomed and it had no chance. It didn't even release in Christmas. I'm so happy this game done so well and proved all those naysayers wrong. I'm so happy that this is all of those people that were kind of really being horrible to me and saying I'm gonna see when the game comes out, it's gonna do poorly. Now I go back to those same people, and do you know what they do to me? They block me. Mainly because I send them a video going, you sucker, you got it wrong. But yes, I probably deserved some of those blocks. But you know what? It's good, isn't it? But you know, the grift continues, right? Chat, the grift is going to continue. The grift is going to continue. Can anyone tell me what's wrong with this? What is wrong with what we're seeing on screen right now? What is wrong with this whole thing? Outside of the guy can't even take a proper screenshot and decided that he's going to use his mobile phone to take a picture of his monitor, which looks very oversaturated. I ain't gonna lie, Leaf, I thought you said you wanted to see more of the horse building. I'm guessing my eyes are quite tight today. So apparently, anyone not seeing a problem with this? Ubisoft is promoting Assassin's Creed Shadows here in Japan in Chinese. So my dude claims to be living in Japan, right? My dude is claiming to live in Japan, trying to get a gotcha moment because he lives in Japan, and can't tell that that's Japanese kanji. It's actually written in Japanese. So this Colonel Otaku Gatekeeper thought he was so smart because he lived in Japan that he can't even read the language, and then start saying that it's a different language altogether, trying to get a gotcha moment. Yeah, I don't get the hate for this game. It's insane. But I'm so happy it's doing well. Do you know what isn't doing well? The pony's sanity. They're losing it one by one. They are losing it one by one. The thought the thought of those PC ports working on Xbox is absolutely driving them nuts. I mean, the basic alphabet is actually hiragana and katakana. Hiragana is for Japanese words, native Japanese words. Katakana is for foreign words, like pan, for example, would be written in katakana, and that is basically bread. It's from, they've taken the word bread from France and are using that, right? But kanji is simply basically an adopted kind of, I guess you can call it syllable from Chinese. They've adopted it into their own language, but it is very different. You know, the way it's actually written, the curves are very different. And you can tell that this is Japanese quite easily, especially with this kanji here. But these two also mean something completely different. I've seen them multiple times in Japanese, but this one obviously like means like mid or like dark evening kind of thing. Uh, but yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting that these people think they know what they're talking about, and they're so stupid that they can't think. It's crazy. I know, Ghosty, but this dude lives in Japan, and he calls himself a native. Yeah, this one over here means sail. It's all grifting, my dude. I barely speak English, that's why that Google didn't work. I mean, this is Ima. I studied a bit of Japanese in my day, so like this over here is written in hiragana. That basically says skip. Sukipu. But yeah, it's I just thought it was really funny. But the complete brain blowout of the way they're trying to hunt this game down has been so fun to watch. And it's even better now that the game is actually doing well and they're not getting their way. And they're trying to double down on the hate and no one cares. And they're running around rallying that flag and everyone's like, yeah, we don't care. We're just enjoying games, man. Go away. You're making too much noise. Piss off. It's like... But it's yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know he's been community noted. But he's just so dumb he doesn't see it. Hey, Jakob, how's it going? I am indeed, Jakob, excited for the Switch 2. I've got some money put aside for it. I am hoping to pick one up day one, like I did with the Switch. Actually, no, I didn't get the Switch day one. I couldn't get it in time. But I'm hoping to pick it up day one. But yes, I'm looking forward to the Direct. What day does the Direct fall on? Anyone actually know? Grey Wolf, they are desperate. They are gagging. But do you know what? What's even more... Tuesday. Nice. Then I guess we'll be watching that on Tuesday while I get demonetized and have Nintendo coming round trying to sue me for everything I've got because I'm co-streaming their show without giving them any money, even though I'm not going to be monetized. The risks I go through just to entertain you guys is just surreal. Honestly. Oh, Wednesday. For shame. For shame. That might be over at Twitch then, for those of you that want to come and hang out with me over on Twitch. April the 2nd, that does fall miraculously on a Wednesday. So, might do that on the Wednesday or check it out on Thursday with you all. See how that one goes. It's okay, man. I got my holidays mixed up today from work. They're like, you're on holiday on Monday. I was like, nah, it's the following week. And they're like, no, it's this Monday. I'm like, it's this Monday. Okay, then. I like it. You know that moment when you don't know you've got a holiday coming up and then someone reminds you that you've got a holiday coming up and it's just so good? It just makes that extended weekend all the better. Oh, Grums is dead mad. Dead mad. It's crazy. Did you guys see? Did you guys see this little gem doing the rounds? I did release a video earlier talking about this as well. But did anyone actually see this? People are going to lose their mind with this one. People are going to lose their mind. I mean, if you thought the Assassin's Creed debacle was bad, if you thought the, 1 second ad that pops up on your Xbox when they release a game was bad, this is going to make them go ape. Policy and doesn't have the terms for Sony to block. So, okay, do you know what? Before we get into this, let's actually dive into this whole PlayStation debacle where people are saying, including Jess Corden, including Colt Eastwood, I think John from Xbox Era is the only one that has a semblance of common sense. I actually think the other two are just engagement baiting at this point. They can't be this dumb. If the next Xbox is a PC running on System 32 API architecture, and I'm about 99% sure it will be, because Microsoft wants to save as much cost as possible while maximizing profit. And the easiest way to do that is not to have a separate version for an Xbox and a PC, but rather deliver the same thing just on a different spec for the PC. That makes a lot more sense to me, especially with the direction Microsoft is going. So you can't block it, right? You can't do it. You just can't do it. Now, if it was a console, like an outright console, and it didn't have a Windows operating system, then there's a chance that they could. But these people are coping, right? They're turning around and saying, well, GeForce Now blocks PlayStation games, so it's going to block it, you'll see. I tell you that. That's pretty much what they're all sounding like. But what they don't understand is cloud blocking is completely different, right? Inside Valve's database, they have a checkbox that says enable cloud, disable cloud. They don't have a checkbox for enable Windows, disable Windows, because it just works on Windows. Right? It's really that simple. If the API call is, as Jez said, a System 32 call, that's done and dusted. And do you know what? From what Detective Seeds has said that he's heard from inside PlayStation, and he has got contacts within PlayStation, Sony doesn't care. Do you know why Sony doesn't care? Because they don't have to do anything to get it to work, because it's a PC, right? So you're just going to have it set to an Xbox setting, and it's just going to run. For Sony, it's a win-win, because they need that PC revenue. And for them to try and block Xbox games running, PlayStation games running on the PC Xbox, it doesn't make any sense. Because if they start to get that petty, there's always that risk that Sony could be even more petty, that Microsoft could be even more petty than they are. And then just start saying, hey, remember that Elder Scrolls 6 we was going to give you? Yeah, about that, buddy. It's not going to happen, right? Now, I'm just surprised that Xbox influencers are jumping on the bandwagon saying that Sony's going to block it. They're not going to block it. You can't block it. And I keep going back to my tried and tested example of Boosteroid. And I know some person turned around and said they're all illegal and stuff like that. Mate, if they were illegal, they'd be shut down by now. But do you know why Sony can't stop Boosteroid from streaming the games? Because Boosteroid doesn't stream PlayStation games. Boosteroid streams the actual PC. And you play the game on that streamed PC. So as you can see, the model for GeForce Now is so unique in its structure. It's how Sony can block GeForce Now. And for those of you that didn't know, for the longest time, you could actually play games on GeForce Now, PlayStation games, if you change the user agent on your browser. They've blacklisted all of the user agents now. But early on, you could actually just change the user agents of the browser, and that would work. Sorry, 1 second. But yeah, it's sorry about that. It's just it doesn't make any sense. Does anyone here actually believe that they're gonna actually do it? That they can do it? Let me just fix that. Pioneers be like, but, yeah, GeForce, that argument with GeForce Now ain't holding no salt at all. None at all. It's stupid. I think they theoretically could, but I doubt they would. I don't even think there's any theory that they can. Okay, define to me what a console is. Can anyone here define what an actual console is? Hey, Diablo. Oh, Steam fanboys are on another level, dude. Jesse. They're on another level. No, but what is the what defines a machine being regarded a console? PS5 Blows is halfway there. Console is the pony secondary protocol is back. Alright, so the whole concept of a console is that it's non-upgradable. Right? It's not upgradable. And it creates a level playing field. You've got one machine that's part of your home entertainment system. You press the button and it just works. It's easy access and it just works. It's that simple. You can't upgrade the CPU, you can't upgrade the GPU, you can't upgrade the RAM. Lately we can upgrade the hard drives, but that's about it. I mean, you've been able to upgrade the hard drives since the PS2 days, right? So the hard drives has always been an interchangeable thing. But essentially, it's a box that cannot be upgraded. It is what you see. Everything is soldered in. It's custom built. Right? Are we good on that? Are we good with that, yeah? But do we agree? Are we okay with that definition? Okay. So is that a console? Can't put a graphics card in there. You can't change the graphics card. You can't change the RAM because it's soldered in. You can't change the CPU because it's soldered in. I guess maybe you can change the fan, possibly. I doubt it. I think the hard drives are actually soldered into this as well. So you can't even change a hard drive. So would that classify as a console? The answer is yes. Do you know why? Because the Asus ROG is also regarded as a console. The Steam Deck is also regarded, by definition, a console because it's non-upgradable. You can't really change any of the parts within it. Now, if Microsoft release a PC that is basically like that, obviously it's going to be bigger because it's going to be way more powerful, but you can't actually change the graphics card, the CPU, the RAM, and all you want to do with that Xbox device is press the button and play, and that box provides you with that experience where you can't upgrade it, maybe the hard drive, obviously, but that's about it, and you press the power button, the dashboard appears, you click on your game, and off you go. Why is that not a console? A Steam machine is a console. If you can't upgrade it, it's a console. Kevin. No, I don't think the Xbox is going to be modular now. No way. I don't think we're actually there yet in tech-wise to make it modular, where you can just slide out the graphics card, the CPU, and plug them in. I think that tech is just way... Even if we have prototypes, I know they were doing a laptop some time ago, a modular laptop, but that was like $5,000. Crazy money. The tech is just too expensive. So they won't bother with that. It's just going to be your typical machine at an affordable price that basically acts as a mid-tier gaming machine. Now, I was speaking to my son earlier, who I was trying to get onto the show today because he's went from being a console gamer to a PC gamer because all his friends were on PC. And I actually asked him, if Microsoft released the Xbox as a console that can run Steam, so you just put the machine on and then pick the game you want and start, would you prefer that to your PC? And his response was, as long as it can run 60 FPS, yes. Because it's less messing about. I just put the game on, it works, 60 FPS, I'm happy. Keep in mind, PC gamers are willing to lower the graphics to hit that 60. They don't care how good it looks as long as they can hit that 60 FPS. That's all they care about. That's the minimum threshold and acceptance criteria for them. But he said that he would make the jump from his PC to the Xbox, as well, if it had Steam, because that's where all his games are. If they could provide him with 60 FPS gameplay and the simplicity of a console. But other than that, he would stay on PC. So that's his criteria. And that's what Microsoft need to do. But it's still a console. Just not to us nerds. Us nerds know that it's a PC. Right? Us nerds know it's a PC, but by definition it is still a console. They can try and frame it and shape it and say whatever they want. But just like the Steam Deck, the Asus ROG is a console. The next Xbox will be a console, but it's a PC. Basically, yeah. And what this will mean is, development-wise, these developers no longer need to develop for a custom system. I mean, my Xbox Series X yesterday, when I put it on, I don't actually know how I got into that menu. Maybe someone in chat will actually know this, because I don't know. I pressed the power button, and I think I might have held... I was trying to sync my controller while it was booting, and I think I might have pressed the sync button at the same time as the power button, but it went into the recovery menu. That recovery menu was Windows 10. And if you looked at the code at the bottom, it was basically a Windows OS code in there. Because the Series X already runs on Windows 10. The next Xbox will run on Windows 11. Leaf, you can, but you can't take the RAM sticks out. You need to desolder them. The moment you're talking about soldering, that's out of the question. You can... I mean, I remember on the original Xbox. Does anyone remember the... I mean, are there any people here that were actually had an OG Xbox? I'm talking about the brick that actually had inside the user manual that if this Xbox drops on you, it can cause death. I'm talking about the OG brick. Does anyone actually remember having that? Right. So what some people were doing back then in order to customize it, they were cutting a hole on top of their Xbox. And I'm not sure if any of you remember back then, but you had this huge fan like this that basically allowed you to put a heatsink. I think it was called TT something. And you could put the fan in the middle. So it had an intake and one on the outside and one on this side. And it basically intook and out straight away. And the pipes underneath would be the heatsink leading up. And it would cool it down. And people were doing that with their OG Xbox. It was weird. It was crazy. Respect to them. It looked like a monster. And it got them a few extra frames. But that's not what normal people do. They're not going to open up their Xboxes. Oh, you remember Bold Alpha? Exactly. Normal people don't do that. So normal people aren't going to open their machines and desolder stuff to do it. What you see is what you get with these machines. That's why they're called consoles. But this is what I'm saying. So the actual Xbox that's going to come out is going to be a PC, but it's going to be in a console form. And I think that is going to appeal to a lot of people. Now, whether, you know, if Microsoft can pull it off. The big thing here is Microsoft pulling it off. I'm more worried about Microsoft pulling it off than anything else. Microsoft hasn't got a good track record. But if they can pull this off, giving you that PC experience in a console form at an affordable price. I mean, like I said, both my kids said openly that if they can deliver on that, they would be interested in picking up an Xbox next gen. It would give you keyboard and mouse control. You've got basically everything you want. Remember what Sarah Bond said? The largest technical leap. Yeah. I think this is going to be it. I think this is where it's at. Right? And this is why I'm so adamant that this is basically what Microsoft is doing. I've been badgering on about this for a long time now. And talking about it and pushing this agenda. And, you know, I've been ridiculed quite a lot. But I just don't see any other way around this. This is Microsoft's Hail Mary. Because this will allow them to deliver a better product overall. Because let's not forget, if you're developing for PC and an Xbox, and then you're going to develop for Switch and the PlayStation, the more you're doing, the more you have to dumb down the game, dumb down the experience. I mean, we all saw how Monster Hunter Wilds launched. Not in the greatest shape. Fantastic game, by the way. But it probably could have been better if it was tailored, right? So removing platforms that you don't really need to develop for, because there's no need to actually develop for a specific Xbox console. If it runs the PC games, as far as you're concerned, you have an open catalog to everything. And do you know what's the number one thing that I'm looking forward to that no one is really talking about? Come on, I give you guys 30 seconds to guess in chat. What is the one thing that I'm really looking forward to seeing Xbox players getting their hands on that no one is talking about? Considering it's going to be a PC, what is the one thing that no one is talking about? I think the next look, I've already got my waifus. You come every Monday, you see the waifus. If you haven't seen Cantarella yet and you haven't seen my other channel where I'm showcasing her off, I don't know what to tell you. In terms of the price point, I am guessing that the next Xbox is going to be somewhere in the region of about $800 to $1,000, which will basically be £800 to £1,000. Just on the couch. Hey, Remy. Nah, you guys are way off. Way off. Come on, man. One of you have to guess it. You guys are way off. Oh, yeah, I think it's going to be around 800, but, you know, that £800 Xbox is going to be equivalent to, say, like a £1,400-1,500 PC. The APUs are getting better and better every time, and with FSR 4 guaranteed to be the, you know, the baseline. I mean, by that point, we may even have FSR 5, right? So, yeah. Hey, Rabbi, how's it going? I think Jesse and Microsoft are just keeping everything quite lipped for now. They're planning something for GDC, that's obvious. But I think for now, they're keeping all of the information tight. They're listening to what people are saying, what people are wanting. And I think this PC move could be really big for Microsoft. Okay, here we go. I'm going to tell you because Paul Smith has just entered the building. Xbox fans will finally be able to play the one game that PlayStation fans cannot. Because if it's a PC, there's absolutely no reason why you cannot play the best VR game out there, Half-Life Alyx. And believe me when I tell you, that game is phenomenal. Absolutely insanely good. But Half-Life Alyx will be at your fingertips. What do you mean, Zork? Jesse, all the consoles are going to be above 500 going forward. I'm good, Rebby. How are you? You have it with no VR mod? Nice. Oh, come on. Half-Life Alyx is insanely good. What do you mean? It's the best VR game out there. Nothing comes close to it. That sandwich is a good question. I don't know. That I don't know. But as FSR technology improves and it doesn't look like they're moving away from AMD, I mean, for all we know, they could move away from AMD and go down the NVIDIA route. We just don't know what they're using. It really depends. Although NVIDIA are having a lot of problems at the moment with their drivers. They don't know what they're doing. Not much, Paul, not much. Yeah, I've seen that gaming. He's He's using GeForce Now as his precedent. And for someone so smart, I'm pretty sure he's just engagement baiting. He's just engagement baiting. Steam not safe. But do you look? You guys have been throwing all sorts of games at me, and all of these become available to you. You thought your back catalog was bad now. Can you imagine once you open Pandora's box and all of those games become available to you, what the difference is going to be? Jakob, we will be getting a new UI. They've been working on that for a long time. Oh, I've seen them, Rabbi. There's lots coming out this year. They've been working on that UI for a long time. I honestly don't understand why it's taken them so long. But what they want to have Xbox, PC, handheld unified in terms of the OS on what it looks like visually. So when you jump between them, it's basically second nature. You know instantly what you're doing. There's no new UI. There's nothing different that you have to do. Everything just works. That's the holy grail milestone that they want to hit. If they can hit that, great. If they can't, time will tell. We're going to check later the Dream Haven, but right now we're just chatting. And I just can't see Sony doing anything about it. Oh, that handheld is another debacle, right? I can't believe how many people out there are actually thinking that the handheld that's coming from Asus is the first party handheld. Bold Alpha, they can't. And people using Booster GeForce Now as a precedent are just they're literally engagement baiting. They're just trying to, get people to turn around and tell them, no, you're wrong, no, you're wrong, no, you're wrong, no, you're wrong, no, you're wrong. Just so they can get that extra bit of revenue from Elon Musk. Hey, make it simple. How's it going? Well, I think that's going to impact them, right? That's why they tried to, before the tariffs came in, they actually increased the shipping lanes from 1 to 2 for the consoles. They tried to... It's almost like a Grand Theft Auto heist, right? They tried to smuggle as many PS5s into the country as possible so they could have some stock, because the price is going to go up. What's there now is there, but after that, any new shipment that comes in is going to get hit by the tariffs. What? MBG almost cried? Really? Why? So here's the thing, right? I actually think that what is it? The next 2-3 years is going to be very interesting when it comes to PlayStation, because I think the PS5 Pro is a real test of what they can do, where it's going, and it's bought them some more time before they decide what they're going to do. Now, I believe wholeheartedly that they intend to make a PlayStation 6. But I wonder, in the next 2 years, once they see what is actually happening in the industry and the way Microsoft is going to pivot quite aggressively, will they still stay the course with the PS6? Or will they opt for the same option? Or will they say, do you know what? since there's a platform out there, we can just release our games and make more money. Because as these games get more and more expensive to make, the business side of these developers keep coming out more and more. Well, businesses, I should say. You know, as Sean Layden said in the Destin interview, back in his days, games cost 5 million to make, not 250 to 400 million that they cost now. That's a big difference, folks. I mean, have you heard at the moment? There are 4 PlayStation games that are number one. Well, they're in the top 10 most pre-ordered games, and I think Nibs was trying to turn that into a gotcha moment. My dude is celebrating no one buying PlayStation games, but buying Xbox games. Oh, 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 oh. Oh. I watched the Sean Layden interview. It must be me, but it seems as he has deep hatred for Xbox but tries to hide it. Well, it's like he said, right? It's like he said. He turned around and said that, you know, all 3 of them generally find themselves together, but they're both competitive. They don't. There's times where they don't like each other, and then there's times where they get along. The rivalry was, the rivalry was real back in the day, because it was all about who will win that generation, right? When Peter Moore turned around and said we was encouraging the console wars because we was taking part in it as well, they weren't joking. It was a real thing. But as prices ballooned, the console wars started to take a backseat, and businesses started to take over. And in Microsoft's case, after they spent $70 billion on ABK, that was the end of console warring, and businesses said, okay, buddy, we need money. I like money, you need money, I like money, everyone like money, you get me money. But this new Xbox handheld that's landing this year, that's an themed handheld, is just going to basically look like it's had the touches of an Xbox controller put onto it, rubber grips and whatnot, have the Xbox logo, but underneath the shell, it's just going to be a PC, right? It's just going to be Windows 11. So don't expect that to be any different. The new handheld is going to arrive alongside the next generation Xbox. I mean, it's better than the ROG Ally, right? Make it simple, it's going to be better because it should be running the Zen 2 chip, the Z2 chip, instead of the Z1 Extreme. It should be running the Z2 Extreme, which is way more powerful. Wait, the Xbox handheld is out? No way. That would have been all over the place. I fail to believe. I refuse to believe it. True next gen 2027, 2627. I'd say bold. There's still a small chance that end of 26 it's possible. I mean, they're not going to release it before November, right? So it's the earliest that they're going to release it is November 2026. I think the latest you're looking is November 2027. November is always the month that they release their Xboxes. If you look through the history, it's always fallen on a November, in time for the holidays where people are going to spend the most money. I was going to say John Bon, because I was like, wait, did I miss something? Am I in like some alternate universe timeline? Paul, I feel like that's a trick question. I mean, look, I'm looking to get a Quest 3, right? I'm gonna go and sell my Quest 2 and top up whatever's the difference and try and get a Quest 3. But Microsoft and Meta have been toying about an Xbox themed Quest 3, where it'll basically be a Quest 3 headset with Xbox branding all over it. It'll have Game Pass built into it, and it'll come with a controller. If they actually announced that, I'd pick it up. But they've not announced anything to do with that yet. But I think they should have. That was a missed opportunity. 2028? Nah, it's too late. Woodpit. I don't think the Series X will go that far. Hell, the Series S isn't going to last that long. You're talking another 3 years. I don't think the Series S has the legs in it anymore. 1 max 2 years. Anything over that, and I think the Series S is just going to fall flat on its face. Unless they take the parity clause away and say, right, those games will no longer run native, but they'll run through the cloud. But then they'll have legal problems on their hands. So Ghosty, why not just take it to Scotland and fry it while you're at it? Whatever happened to Wukong on Xbox? Good question. Legends, and the myth is that it was money headed. Whether it's true or not, who knows? But let's just hypothetically say 26 or 27 is the release date. Right? Let's say 26 or 27. This machine is going to launch with Blade, Halo, Gears 6, I guess it's going to be called instead of E-Day, because E-Day is landing on the current gen. So you got Gears, potentially, Perfect Dark, if it gets that far, Elder Scrolls 6, and these are just the games I'm pulling off the top of my head that are going to be at that point. Forza Horizon 6. It's looking like a spicy launch, isn't it? I've got COVID? Nah. Why would I have that? Would it allow real emulation? I think that's gonna... You're not gonna get access to Windows. Unless you start, trying to run homebrew and stuff. I'm sure people are gonna manage to do it, but the average user won't do it. It's gonna be locked out. Oh, don't forget there's COD as well, right? There'll likely be a Diablo on that launch as well. There'll likely be, if it's still alive by then, a Starfield update. I mean, this is starting to look pretty spicy, right? This is starting to look like a pretty good deal. Well, rumor is that Wukong got money hatted by Sony. Whether it's true or not, we'll never know. Microsoft won't come out and officially say anything. Sony stayed quiet. I mean, Sony could have ended all the debate by coming out and saying, we didn't money hit anything, you know, we got nothing to do with this. But instead they chose not to do that, and they decided that what we're going to do is turn around and say, you know what? Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. And they decided to let that fester. You either like Diablo or you don't. It's one of those games that I don't think there's a middle ground to it. It's like Marmite, if any of you have had that that are from the UK. You either love that or you hate it. And by the way, just a quick mention, my placeholder is going live tonight. We're going to have a community night this Friday for members, so if you ain't a member and you want to take part, and we are going to be playing games like Dead by Daylight, Fall Guys, potentially, feel free, if you're a member, to turn up. The placeholder will be going live tonight after the stream. Was supposed to get it live on the weekend. I was really lazy and forgot. People don't care about Wukong now. It's come and gone. It's, you know, the hype is dead. Right? I mean, why you gotta do me dirty like that, Paul? Why you gotta hit me in the feels? Don't do that to me, man. Don't do that to me. It's not my fault. I tell you what I'll do, right? For next month, on my Discord, link in the description below, free to enter for everyone. I'll put a post up that asks when most people are available. Pick the Friday of that week where most people are available, and we'll try and arrange it for that Friday. How does that sound? Can't get fairer than that. I mean, my kid played Wukong. He said it was a good game, but it didn't hold a candle on Elden Ring. He played it, finished it. He said it was average at best. So apparently Starfield is getting a big update soon. At least on Reddit, they said an update is coming very soon. Whether that announcement is a PlayStation announcement or it's something else is entirely unknown. I'm really hoping it's not. But, yeah. I mean, apparently I've been clipped recently saying that I'm not gonna cheerlead Xbox games being delayed for Xbox customers for PlayStation, like other people have been cheerleading. Does anyone actually see a problem with what I said? Did I actually say something wrong there? Because apparently they're using that as a gotcha, and I'm either really stupid and not seeing where the errors of my ways are, or I'm missing something here, and their low IQ stupidness is showing. Hey, look, when it comes to Fallout, it's not how you start, it's how you end. And right now, they're doing really well. They started like garbage. That game was so broken, it's ridiculous. But credit to the Fallout, team, the Fallout 76 team. They kept at it, and the one thing they did that so many companies do not do, right? The one thing they did, their community team was in the trenches with the community the whole way. The whole time. They were with them through the bad and the good now. And it's thanks to them, in my opinion, that the community that they hold right now for Fallout 76 is so strong. People often don't give the community managers enough credit because most of them are garbage, or they're just, there when the times are good but run away when the times are bad. But the Fallout community team has been the rock solid. So, hats off to them. Both can be true. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I mean, I couldn't actually understand where the gotcha moment was. And I was like, where is the gotcha moment? I don't see it. I just don't have time for it. Oh, God. I mean, it's not up to Sony, Paul. But this is, I mean, to me, it's not getting blocked. It's just not happening. It's not happening. And anyone that thinks it's happening is the Lulu. But yeah, like, how many of you were interested in the Xbox themed handheld? Because I was really close to picking up an Asus ROG. Because I'm kind of sick and tired of my Steam Deck when it can't play games. I'm really sick and tired of it. Like, I want to play like some of my gacha games and I can't because it's anti-cheat doesn't install. I want to play some, free-to-play games. I can't because it doesn't install. It's so annoying. So I really want to get an Asus ROG, but with Microsoft announcing that they're coming with their new Asus handheld, if it's running on the Z2, I want the Z2 Extreme. I want that. But it's also like the whole, what was it? How is this going to benefit Microsoft? How is Microsoft going to make any money? Is anyone in here a shareholder? Just out of curiosity, is anyone in here a shareholder at Microsoft Corporation? I mean, you don't have to answer. I'm just curious if you are. Because if you're not, right? Why do you care? Alright, as a shareholder, when Microsoft sells games, you're guaranteed either to get 100% of that revenue or 70%. But you're still making money. So where's the problem? But a console is selling anyway. The console is going to sell. The next gen console is going to have a wider appeal. Whether people jump onto the Game Pass bandwagon is a different story. It'll be interesting to see where Game Pass is right now. My estimates are somewhere in the region of about 45 to 50 million. But we'll see when they announce their next numbers. That's including Game Pass Core, by the way. Without Game Pass Core, then they are around 35 to 40 million. And do you honestly think that Steam's going to take the full 30% on there? Do you think Microsoft's not going to take a slice of that cut? at all. Nice, Paul. Nice. Haven't seen that, John. I can see the Xbox One being a little bit cheaper. I think Microsoft are going to try and subsidize it with offers. Mate, you're all coming out of the woodworks now, ain't ya? You see what I started? Now we just need the tax man to come and find you all. Oh, tax man! Make it simple. You and me both. I just don't see. I think Sony would have to really piss them off for them to take a different stance at this point. And the only thing I think Sony could do to actually do that is if they miraculously found a way to block those PlayStation games off their PC console. I think that's when you would see the tables turn. I think that's when you'd see big bad Xbox. But you would need something that drastic, in my opinion, for them to turn around and throw their dummy out. But I also think if they're going down this route of it being a PC, Xbox Live is gone. The requirement for Xbox Live to play online will be gone. I think that's almost a necessity. It's not even a requirement at this point. It's just going to have to be something that they abolish. They're going to have to rely on Game Pass being enough to sell subscriptions. They will probably lose the core members, which is a fair chunk, but I think anyone that's on Game Pass Ultimate anyway will probably still stay on there. It then comes down to pricing and what they offer, Gorsty. No, Paul. Not for another. What is it? Was it 10 years was it 10 years the deal? So not for another 9 years. They've got a contract. Yeah, Microsoft and Steam will work out a split. I think Steam will take a bigger cut than Microsoft, but as I always say, something is better than zero, right? Yeah, Live would have to go away entirely because that would, at that point, it would be really stupid if you're saying, "Hey guys, I'm playing this game that's only available on Steam on my PC. That's a box underneath my TV, but I can't play with you online because of X, Y, and Z reason, and I need to get Xbox Live." That would be really dumb. That would be a really dumb move from Microsoft. I just don't see them doing it. I don't. Hey, Ghosty, I tell you what. When you buy it, send it my way. Trust me, I'm doing you a favor. I don't offer this to most people, but since it's you, I'll do you a solid. Send it my way. Yeah, Bold Alpha Wolf. Gabe has said this. He actually said this when he was being interviewed on that show, right? Where he said, you know, he has no problem integrating Game Pass into Steam. They just need to come to an arrangement and an agreement. But he likes Microsoft, and if he has to pick a platform between Sony and Microsoft, he prefers Microsoft, oddly enough. But he does, right? So he's always said that he is happy to integrate Game Pass into Steam. I'm really surprised it hasn't happened yet. But I guess Microsoft really, 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 really wanted their own store. Like, really wanted their own store. Like, I'm talking really wanted their own store. But I think now they've seen that maybe that integration's a good thing. It is ghosty, but what I'm showing you right now is what you would see in a reflection. And therefore, it comes as second nature to you. So, you can still send it my way. No, the ROG is a really nice piece of kit. If you could half mention an extra one. Why have I got visions of a white van going through a window, loading up and leaving? Oh man. These scouts never change. Battery is terrible on all of them. Unfortunately. Here's the thing, you can already play PS first party games on Windows. Like, what's the point of them blocking? There is absolutely none, Bold Alpha. You're just... See, here's the thing, right? These companies are going to do whatever they want, regardless of what we say. Do you genuinely believe that anything we said would have changed the direction Microsoft was going in ultimately? No, it wouldn't. And we all knew back from the February business update when Phil said 4 games and that's it. You know what? I'm going to play that clip because a lot of people usually talk about that, right? A lot of people talk about that. The 4 games, it's just 4 games. And I want you guys to listen to what he's saying. Because no one really listens to what he's saying. Alright. Alright, let's see if we can actually find this clip. How does that apply to future games? Is it here? Where is it? So that message of we want to play anywhere and everywhere and play wherever the players are, that's in this podcast, right? That's in this business update. It's been there since February last year. So people say turning around and saying that he's changed what he was saying. It's not. It's been here since February update. But I want to get to the point where he talks about the 4 games. Where is it? Nope. I'm trying to find that clip. Was it at the beginning where they talked about the 4 games? Okay, here it is. Okay, so key point here, number 1, right? Everyone is talking about how Indiana Jones is going to PlayStation and Starfield is going to PlayStation, right? Number one, he was talking about the 4 games. Those 4 games were not Indiana Jones or Starfield. They were Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, Sea of Thieves, and I can't even remember what the 4th one was. You don't hear it? What do you mean you don't hear it? You have to hear it. Okay, let's try this again.
I think when they come out, it'll make sense.
Can we say if either of those titles are Starfield or Indiana Jones?
They are not Starfield or Indiana Jones.
Well, what was the criteria?
Okay, you heard that, right? So the first 4 games that are coming, the 4 games that are coming is not Indiana Jones or Starfield. So what he said there was the truth. Grounded was the last one. So what he said there was the truth. People saying that he lied in this business update, whatever, he did not. Right? That clears that mess up. So anyone that turns around and says Phil Spencer said Starfield and Indiana Jones won't be coming, he said one of those 4 games are not Starfield and Indiana Jones. He already told you in this update that everything's gonna go.
Criteria and how the team was thinking about selecting those 4 titles.
Let me start a little bit outside of that, and then I'll get to the 4 specific games that we're talking about right now. Because the fundamental decision driver for any decision that we make, anything we're going to talk about today, is the long-term health of Xbox. That we're running a growing platform that is reaching more players, that our games are having as much success as possible. And I do have a fundamental belief that over the next 5 or 10 years, exclusive games that are exclusive to one piece of hardware, are going to be a smaller and smaller part of the game industry. And that's not some great insight, because if you look at the last 10 years...
I mean, he's already saying here, last year in February, that exclusives are no good. It's just none of us wanted to hear this, right? None of us wanted to hear it. But he's telling you in this update everything that has unraveled one by one. Just none of us wanted to hear it.
And what the biggest games are today, it's a natural place. Whether it's one console and PC, multiple consoles, mobile console and PC, you see big games landing on multiple platforms. And we want to be a great platform for creators that are trying to realize that potential. But now back to the specifics of the question on these four specific titles. We looked at games that are over a year old, so they've been on Xbox and PC for a while. A couple of the games are community-driven games, new games that kind of first iterations of a franchise that have reached their full potential, I'd say, on Xbox and PC. There's always growth. Franchises that we obviously want to continue to invest in. Part of having the ability to continue to invest is that the businesses behind those franchises continue. We think it's important that these service-based games that have communities behind them, that they can have confidence that they're going to exist in the future. So 2 of them, kind of community-driven games that will end up on other platforms and give us the ability to continue to invest in them. We think that's great for the business and great for the communities, more players to play with. I'd say 2 of the other games are smaller games that were never really meant to be built as kind of platform exclusives and all the fanfare that goes around
Grounded
that.
and Hi-Fi
But
Rush.
games that our teams really wanted to go build, that we love supporting creative endeavors across our studios regardless of size. And as they've realized their full potential on Xbox and PC, we see an opportunity to utilize the other platforms as a place to just drive more business value out of those games, allowing us to invest in maybe future iterations of those, so sequels to those, or just other games like that in our portfolio. And when we don't damage Xbox and we can grow our business using what other platforms have and to help us with that, we're going to do that. And that's really the story behind these 4 games. And last thing I'll say, looking forward, I think there is an interesting story for us of introducing Xbox franchises to players on other platforms to get them more interested in Xbox. We think there's a good brand value for Xbox there. So 4 games, no promise beyond that. So if you're on those other platforms and you see these 4 games coming, please don't take it as some signal that everything's coming. It's not. And we're going to learn.
So
Okay. That's really important what he said there, right? Right now, it's these 4 games. We're going to learn from it. What he's saying there is, if it's really profitable for us and it works out, we're going to do this more. But if these 4 games don't sell at all and they bomb and we make a net loss, then we're stopping there and then. That is what he's telling you there, right? He's telling you right there that these 4 games are a test, and if they sell well and they're good for our business, we are going to do more. But if they don't sell well, then that's it. We're just going to stop there because it's a waste of our endeavors. I mean, he was telling everyone here. Now, I agree with someone that, I think it was Duck of Death, where he said it's very deceptive. And I agree with that. The way that they actually word stuff was very selective. But he's clearly telling you here, Microsoft is going multiplat. At the moment, the first stage of that is to see if these 4 games will sell. If they sell or are successful, then we are going to do more. But don't expect more if they don't do well. Because if they don't do well, then they're bad. And that's it. We're done. Now, fast forward that to what Sony and Microsoft are doing right now with the potential PlayStation games landing on Xbox. If those PlayStation games sell a record number for Xbox fans, do you genuinely believe Sony's going to turn around and say, oh man, I don't want those millions of dollars coming in. Nah, our shareholders don't want to see that millions of dollars coming in. No. We don't like money here at Sony. No. You think that's really going to happen? Sony's going out on a gamble here, and it's going to be the exact same way as Xbox. Exactly, Sappho. But the problem is the media decided to jump on the wrong stuff. In all fairness, us as the gaming community heard what we wanted to hear at the time. We didn't really want to hear the stuff that was actually being said. We wanted to listen to the stuff that, you know, was more appealing to us. But the reality is, that February update told you where Xbox was going. Phil Spencer didn't lie. And this is what I keep saying. People are saying he lied about the 4 games. He did not. He said, we're going to have those 4 games, and then we're going to see what happens. Don't expect more, because there won't be more, essentially, if the games fail. But if the games succeed, we are going to keep on doing it, because guess what? We like money. Yeah, of course, it'll be the PC versions that we get. Which is fair, we know, which is better than, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. How's it going, Jordan? But he's not manipulating you. He's telling you the information. You can't get it anymore open. Well, you technically can, but he's told you what you need to know. There's no lies here. Like I said, everyone just heard what they wanted to hear. Oh, happy, I agree with that. Cloud gaming is the future. That is where we will end up in 15, 20 years. Once, you know, internet becomes mainstream. But there's still, I mean, in the UK, there are still pockets of areas that don't get more than 30 meg internet. And that's rough. You're not cloud gaming with that. Exactly simple. They've mentioned this multiple times. It's, you know, to me, every time someone tells me that they've actually been, he's lied about the whole thing, he hasn't. He told you the truth. You just didn't want to listen. And you know, that's just the thing. Right? That's the end. That's just how it is. It let me play earlier, Bullets. Your 2 gigabits internet? I've only got like 50 meg. I guess you could say that, Brick. The internet speed just needs to get better. But yeah, I wanted to show this because a lot of people constantly say that he's lying, and you know, take it how you will. He is a wordsmith. He will say what he needs to say. You know, Sappho is 100% right. He's talking to the shareholders, and the shareholders absolutely understood exactly what he meant, word for word. We as gamers, some of us understood it, some of us didn't. You know, and we heard what we wanted to hear. It's just, that's just the thing. But when you sit down, if you know, in your spare time, re-listen to the whole business update, you will see that everything he's been saying is materialized. And there's been no real hidden thing about it. Hey, look, secondary. You don't have to do me dirty like that, man. There's no need for that. They've started now Duck of Death because they're about to start charging again. I just downgraded mine to 20. The normal edition from the ultimate because I can't use it in this property. So eventually, when I move and I've got better internet, I'll upgrade it again. But until then, it are good. £25 for 6 months is not bad. Did anyone capture this? Anyone see this? Microsoft is testing out a new dashboard. So as you can see from this, let me you're getting this new UI, and this is where people are going to lose their minds because it's an extra click, and oh my god, having an extra click means that the world is going to come to an end. But it gives you like a whole glimpse of what you have, which is really cool. It gives you your time played and a bunch of other stuff. And if you actually, where it says your captures and stuff, if you're looking at it in the store, you kind of get a similar thing to this setup, but instead of it saying your captures, it actually has the microtransaction stuff listed in that segment there. I think that's really damn cool. But people are going to lose their mind. People are going to lose their shite because it's an extra click to get into the game. And people are going to be very, very unhappy about this. Yeah, I don't have this UI yet. I'm on the Delta update. But I think it's cool. I think it's a good idea. You can see that they're trying to improve upon it and taking on, you know, the good things from Steam, and they're kind of working their way and Xboxifying it into their own dashboard, and I think that's kind of cool. Hey, Paul, you gotta stop that. People are gonna start believing you. You can turn it off. Mate, people are still going to get pissed off. The way people lose their mind just because of an extra click when they release a brand new game. Did you see how people were just going zombified just because they saw an Assassin's Creed splash screen? Oh, what happens if they put a 30-second unskippable ad in there next? Like, come on. And for you, Brick, they've got this option over here. Open the guide button, go to your quick resume list, and boom, you get straight into the game. No button, no nothing. Happy days. See? They even thought about you. Yeah, you're crazy, John. Why the hell are you paying that? That's crazy money. You get the same speed as me, and you're paying 3 times the amount I do. And I'm not even on contract, so I'm actually paying a premium at that price. You should check out Now TV. Because you're wasting it. So, Towerborn, if you haven't seen it, April 29th, it's coming to Xbox Game Preview plus Game Pass. Don't really see the difference between Xbox Game Preview and Game Pass. I guess you'll get like the Early Access Edition, which gets updates all the time, as opposed to the stable version, which will be on Game Pass. But April 29, you're gonna get this cool 2D sideward scrolling fighter. It's available on Steam right now for those that want to go try it out. I'm hoping it's going to be fun. I think it's taken so long to arrive that I think the hype for some people on this game has died down now. Still looks kind of cool, but I'm less excited now than I was last year. But yeah, cool beans. Now some sad news. So for anyone that actually knows what Gal Guardians is, I know, I want to say Woodpit or Bullets raised this the other day. So the original, I'm not sure if the original is available on Xbox. I know I have it on Steam because it was available for a really, 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 really cheap price. I just could not pick it up. It's a Metroidvania game. They're actually really good, really fun, and really well thought out. Boss battles are really good. It's a good game overall. It's got positive or very positive ratings on Steam, so I'm looking forward to the sequel, even though I haven't finished the first one yet. But apparently, after a consultation with Microsoft, due to various circumstances, whatever the hell that is, they'll be unable to release the Xbox version of Gal Guardian Servants of the Dark at the same time as other platforms. I really think this needs to stop. And this is why I say the whole, PC Xbox thing would just be better for Microsoft. Because this wouldn't happen anymore. As an Xbox gamer, you'll get your stuff day one with everyone else. I did not, Paul. I did not. Yeah, this is something that they need to improve upon because this is actually a fun game. I don't know how much it would sell, honestly. It's a very niche game. Metroidvanias usually are. And games, called Gal Guardians is definitely not going to be on people's #1 list. But believe you and me when I say this game is a good game. And I think it's like $20. It's worth the money. It's a good game and it plays well. Can't really say much more about this. They will announce a release date soon as they are able to. I don't really know why it's been delayed. They've provided no information, no details. They just apologize and look forward to the Xbox version of the game. We sincerely apologize to all players who are looking forward to playing the Xbox version of the game this week. So there's no actual effective release date for it, which is a shame. I think it's just a big shame. I mean, Tarnished, I think it's quite possible that the PS6 could go the same way as well. I think the PS5 Pro that they have right now has given them an extra few years to see how the market is going to develop. Microsoft, because they didn't release a true mid-gen, I know the Series X is supposed to be their mid-gen, but I'm talking, an actual mid-gen that releases mid-gen. They kind of now need to go to next gen, whereas Sony have decided that they're going to release this mid-gen console. It will buy them a few more years, at least 2 or 3, and then they can assess to see the situation of how it is throughout those first couple years at least, before deciding where the PS6 is going to go. Whether it's going to go the way of the Xbox and become more PC orientated, or remain PC custom as they currently are right now. Because I mean, when you think about it, the current consoles are pretty much PCs anyway. It depends what you use, kid. I use GeForce Now, and honestly, it's really, really good. I've tried to use xCloud, and it's been nowhere near the quality I need it to be. Like in the same building, on the same connection, GeForce Now just gives me way better connection, way better visual display, everything. So it just depends on what you're using. Are you talking about the silicon? At one point, Microsoft actually bought all the silicon, right? I just think what Microsoft did was instead of selling those consoles, they created servers for the cloud. Because at one point they were outbidding Sony for all the silicon during the pandemic. Every time Sony was trying to buy them, Microsoft was outbidding them and buying them all at, rip-off prices. And it looks like they were just putting them into their server farms for their cloud platform. Yeah, I agree with that, kid. I agree with that. Like I said, xCloud on my 50 meg connection is unplayable. GeForce Now at least is playable. I spent a good chunk of today playing some games over the cloud on my Steam Deck, and it was fine. No, they were paying above the odds. But welcome to the stream, dude. Long time no see. Did anyone see this clip? I think it was really, really nicely done between Troy Baker and Nolan North. Yeah, on 2 gigabit. Not on 50 megabit. I mean, if it went the Nvidia route, I don't know. I'm scared to update my Nvidia drivers at the moment because they're breaking everything. So I'm just gonna leave my Nvidia drivers alone. I'm happy with my card right now. It does what it needs to do and it's running everything. But you know what, chat? Let's have a little listen to this because I think this is quite cool.
Nolan, buddy, I got your super urgent text.
Troy, please, have a seat.
New room?
Yes. I broke in about an hour ago. We don't have much time. Since taking on the role of Indiana Jones, you're now on the cusp of being brought into a very exclusive club.
You said cusp.
We have a few questions, of course.
Sure.
What makes a great adventure?
It's about being prepared. Like you'd be surprised at how often a whip comes in handy.
I doubt that. How are you going to deal with private military forces with just a whip?
You know, use the old...
Headbutt. I like it. Aggressive. See, I'm more of a sidearms kind of guy.
You would be.
Jeans. Henley.
Somehow always half-tucked.
Of course.
Of course. What about finding ancient artifacts?
Yes. Sold to the highest bidder.
Donated to museums.
Sold to that museum.
Going somewhere unexpected.
What is an adventure without going somewhere new?
I really like this clip. It's so good. It's so well done.
Troy, welcome to the club.
It's really well done.
Done this before.
Yeah. How many fingers did you have before?
If you didn't hear that, that was Nathan Drake's voice getting whipped. That's really good. Even adding Nathan Drake's voice into it.
Yeah. How many?
I thought that was quite funny. I like it when they do stuff like that. I don't know how much they're losing per console, but they are losing money on there. Still. They don't really make a profit. But definitely not as much as it used to. Clearly. What roadmap, Paul? There is no roadmap. There is no roadmap. Hey, at least Happy Cloud Gamer enjoyed that Troy Baker and Nolan North interaction. Hey, Tarek. I saw the clip that was cut by someone where they said, where he was talking about Halo but was looking at Doom, which was weird. Right? Baby steps is a roadmap? You're not wrong. But I saw that clip going around, and I've seen them both arguing on X a lot. I just leave them to it, to be honest. I don't like getting involved in all of that stuff. But what I found was really weird was the fact that King Fresh called Doom Halo, and then bruv saw the video and then responded, clearly seeing that he's talking about Doom with Halo. None of that made any sense to me. So they were technically they both were wrong. One called Doom Halo, and the other one, seeing the error of King Fresh's ways, decided to double down on the error and just go off on a tangent and talk about stuff that didn't make any sense. I mean, no one is saying it's smart. I'm just saying, I just found that whole interaction really funny. It made me laugh that both of them couldn't really understand why they were wrong. Wait, who got timed out? Did someone get timed out in my chat? Did someone get timed out? Because I haven't timed anyone out. I haven't had much interaction with King Fresh. He invited me on his show once. He's invited me a couple of times after, but I've not been able to attend for one reason or another. But he has invited me on his show a couple of times, and I've jumped on his show once. And when I did go on his show, he actually did right by me at least, you know, despite the fact that, you know, the whole S-Class cloud, you know, gas cloud thing and whatnot. He did right by me. When people tried to get a little out of turn, he told them to stop. He didn't want any of that. So I'm just saying, at least by me, he did right. He didn't allow them to. Now the chat is a different story. I didn't look at the chat. You had the really toxic ones in there like Eric and whatnot. I didn't even bother looking at the chat. But just on the panel, he kept them all in line to be respectful to me. They were, you know, some things they didn't understand, and they were asking me questions and whatnot, and that was fine. But at never once he made me feel uncomfortable. And, you know, so I will put that out there. So at least in that situation, fine. I know on Twitter he trolls a lot and says what he says, but at least in my interaction with him on his show, he was pretty respectful towards me. So I will say that. You have two previous. You have two previous streams for talking bad? What do you mean two previous streams? Ventura, not once. Not once. I told him that I don't like it, and I would appreciate it if he didn't. And this was, you know, before I jumped onto the show. And you know what? Not once did he call me the N-word. Not once. So, you know, troll and everything, and you know what he says outside is one thing. I'm only giving you my experience. It was fine. Wait, you've been timed out on my stream? But Bags, I agree. You know, trolling is fine. It's when you take that trolling too far. And, you know, if you're not adding... If there's no value added to that trolling, I've got no time for it. I know, Ventura. I just really don't like that word. I really don't like it. And I've said this multiple times. I really, really don't like that word. I really, really, you know, to me, it's like a hate thing. I just don't like it. You know, I don't like it being said around me. I don't like it being said at me. I just don't like it. And, you know, I made that perfectly clear. And, you know, he respected that. And that must have taken great restraint if he's, you know, for someone who uses that flamboyantly. I think DCG's grifting, yeah. I mean, he does it deliberately. He knows that people are going to call him out and react to his content, which will get more eyes on his content from a wider audience to go and check out his content. So it's all a game. It's all a game. Right? It's all a game. They do it both sides, Jordan. You've got trolling from both sides. You've got both fan bases being absolutely toxic as anything. You know, but I don't call those people fans, right? The ones that are, you know, horrendously toxic that, you know, start calling you PDFs and tell you to delete your save file and stuff like this, they're not fans. Those people are just toxic wastes of space that no community should actually accept in their environment. If someone in my community was to come in and start really going after someone and wanting harm to come to them, I would ban them instantly, regardless of what faction they're in. Whether they're Xbox, Sony, Nintendo, I couldn't care less. I don't mind trolling. I don't mind the banter. You know, it's all in good nature. And if you're coming at me, that's all fine. I don't mind about that. But the moment you get personal with families, you start getting racist, you know, you start getting into territories that aren't even game related, that's where I draw the line. And unfortunately, both sides of the spectrum have it. I mean, well, all three of the spectrums. In fact, all four. Right? Xbox, PlayStation, Sony, Nintendo, and PC. They've all got it. They exist on all platforms. And those, to me, aren't fans. They're not fanboys. They're just the extremists that, in my opinion, no one should interact with. At all. You know, and at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? Like, I'm not going to tolerate it. if people want to act like that, I just quickly block them or I ban them, and that's it. I move on with my life and I don't give them a second thought. It just is what it is. But it looks like Avowed, getting back to the gaming side of things, in Korea and Japan, they were hoping for what looks like actual language support, you know, for the NPCs to speak in either Korean or Japanese. And Microsoft said, see ya, suckers. Ain't happening. Not now, anyway. There's no timeline for when it will be. And believe me, when they say there's no timeline, it means it's not happening. It's just weird how they just don't want to support the Eastern market at all. You know, I find this so weird. Yeah, but Paul, I've got no problem with that, right? It's all in good humor, and I respond in kind. There's a clear difference between trolling and just being deliberately nasty. So but yeah, like, to me, this, you know, you've got to invest in order to win people, especially when your platform isn't exactly the hottest, you know, noodle in town. And if you can't even be bothered to invest in the market, just pull out. This is a massive L in my opinion. This is something that they need to do more of and invest better in. I mean, what's the point in having those Japanese, you know, departments when you're not even going to utilize them? This should have been an easy win for Microsoft, and unfortunately, once again, they've shown that when it comes to the East, they're just doing the minimum effort that they can and passing on. There is none, Bold Alpha. This is exactly what I'm talking about, Bold Alpha. This is exactly what I'm talking about. But, you know, as you guys can see, I will praise Microsoft where it needs to be praised, and I will criticize Microsoft where they need criticizing. I'm not going to be one of these people that sit here and shill on them 24/7 just for the sake of it. I'm just not that. I'm just not that. You're not going to find that here. I think, you know, this is a massive missed opportunity for them. Avowed becomes a forgotten game in Korea and Japan, and Microsoft's reputation suffers again. When this should have been an easy win. Do you know what, Gorsty? They're a big enough company. Microsoft is a big enough institution where they can spare a few grand that they probably make in a minute to fund the localization. Right? The money that they are going to pay these agencies to localize this game, they will probably make that money in about 10 minutes or less throughout any given day. So if they put aside 5 seconds of revenue for a month, they would have enough to pay these studios and then some to actually get the localization done. I'm not talking about 10 hours or 20 hours a day. I'm talking 5 to 10 seconds a day. The time that I've taken to speak about this bullshit that they are doing, they could have funded the whole studio because that's how much money they would have made in that time. There is zero excuse for this. Zero. I mean, ever since the CMA ordeal, Microsoft pulled out completely from... Xbox has pulled out completely from the UK. I mean, they were already pulling out anyway from like Europe in general. They were Microsoft was pulling their punches, their investment. So that was already happening over the last 5 years, 6 years. But after the CMA ordeal, they just completely just removed. Like I'm saying, where I work for my 9 to 5, we had massive contracts with Microsoft. We were doing all sorts of Xbox advertising, from Forza Horizon 5. I mean, we even did the Hellblade stuff. We did so much. The whole controller design lab competitions, we did all of those. We were doing some massive collaboration with the whole people sitting on couches and from 2 different worlds and putting the screens together to kind of bring them together. The whole football side of things. We did so much marketing for website advertising and stuff like that for Microsoft. And then one day they came to us and said, right, we are slashing our advertising budget by about 95%. And the last thing that I remember doing for them was the Surface website for their AI stuff. And that was like bare base minimum. They didn't even have, they actually didn't have enough money to pay to finish the website. And we had to leave it. The actual UK offices of Microsoft did not have enough money to pay for them. They didn't have the budget to pay for it. So whatever happened, happened. But at the end of the day, you've got to build goodwill. You've got to build that relationship. You've got to build that trust. You've got to build that bond. And that starts with Microsoft doing the goodwill first. They do the goodwill and others will notice. But if you're not willing to put the time and effort in, then it's just not going to work. You kind of have to put the effort in. You have to put the work in. If you're not putting the work in, it ain't going to be done. It doesn't matter. The damage that the CMA caused Microsoft is crazy. You don't have games on your Game Pass Ultimate that you rightfully, legally should have as part of your subscription because of the CMA. I mean, in terms of the digital side of things, they've just stopped. I mean, even the Hellblade 2 that we did, I saw some of the banners that I worked on the websites, but banners are a lost return, really, because everyone uses ad block, so you don't see them anyway. But like the website takeovers that they were talking about, I think I saw one of them, but ultimately, it was very minimal effort. What, you're talking about disavowed stuff, Bold Alpha? This is recent. They got this response on the 25th of March, 2025. So it's a bit of a shame. It's a bit of a shame. Massively disappointing, since I've seen a lot of Japanese Xbox accounts wait for Japanese release. Thank God I stopped one of them from pre-ordering Avowed at the time. It's just I don't know. You saw a massive rush of Japanese gamers buying Xboxes. Just it's one of the biggest gaming portions of communities of gaming. How can you not? I mean, even if you didn't support Korean, at least support Japanese, right? I don't know. It's just so weird. Today's date is the 25th. This was today. So there's this Dreamhaven thing that people were talking about that I'm gonna check out as the final thing for today's stream. But anyone picking up the new Hitman VR game landing on? I mean that's assuming anyone actually was crazy enough like me to buy a PSVR 2. But if anyone was crazy like me to buy one, are you gonna pick up Hitman 2? It comes out in a few days. I don't know if it's available on PC. I want to assume it is going to be available. But it could be good. It could be good. Alright, let's see what this is all about. This isn't a very long clip. It's like half an hour. My house isn't big enough for a VR headset. You'll be fine with the PSVR one. It's kind of wired to the console anyway, so you can't really do anything silly with it. But if you're gonna if you are looking at the PSVR, wait for a sale. It's totally not worth the retail price. I bought it day one and have used it a handful of times. There just isn't enough there to warrant the retail price of the headset. Atomfall, I think, is already out. At least it's early access. Early access should be out. I think the official launch is in 2 days. Is this actually... Let's see. Are you actually going to go all the way? So why didn't you do that when I was actually... Don't you dare start buffering on me. And so when I did this earlier... See? It goes straight to the thing. What the hell? The timeline be lying. Alright, so this is the Dreamhaven.
Hey everybody, it's Jeff Keighley and welcome to the Dreamhaven Showcase. Now what you just saw was a quick glimpse at 4 games that we're going to show you in the showcase today. And these are all titles
I saw nothing.
from Dreamhaven, a new publisher and developer that was founded in 2020. And this is something new for us. The Game Awards is teaming up with Dreamhaven to give you a look at all these incredible new titles, including the global reveal of the new game from Moonshot.
Make it simple.
Games, which is
I've
part of
been playing
Dreamhaven.
Assassin's Creed.
Very
Honestly, I
excited to
haven't tried it
show
yet.
you for a while. That's coming up in a little bit. Now, even if you aren't familiar with the Dreamhaven name, I am sure you are familiar.
But
with
you will know I've
the
played it
company.
once I've got my video up.
Joining me now is the co-founder of Dreamhaven, who's also, of course, the co-founder and former CEO of Blizzard Entertainment, Mike Morheim. Mike, good to see you.
Hi, Jeff. Great to be here with you.
Let me ask you, why did you want to start Dreamhaven in the first place?
Well, when I left Blizzard, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. And so my wife, Amy, and I spent a bunch of time just talking to people and brainstorming ideas. And we got to talking with a lot of folks that we loved working with in the past. They were also thinking about what they wanted to do next. And the idea of what if we joined forces to try to create something really special, a place where game developers and creators could focus on making things they're really passionate and excited to make, an environment where people could do their best work, and really a goal of trying to create games that brought people together in positive ways and really just support them in doing their best work.
You mentioned internal teams, so people are probably wondering, like, well, how big is this company? What's the, is it a full-scale publisher, developer? Like, what can you tell
Is
me
anyone
about the
interested
size
in
and
listening to what they're saying,
Yeah,
or
so
can
we
I get
have,
to the games?
2 internal teams, Moonshot Games and Secret Door. We also are building a central team that will help publish these games and bring them to players around the world. We have also formed relationships with a number of independent developers, and we provide them guidance and advice, and some of
Games?
those relationships have actually grown to be even deeper, where Dreamhaven will end up being the publisher of those games.
All right, well, let's get into some of the games and show people.
Oh, there we go. Games. See? Games. You asked for it. We got to see it.
It's a board game-inspired RPG that you can play solo or with friends. It's kind of a whole new genre for games, and it's...
Who plays a board game on their own?
Sounds like the perfect couch co-op game.
Lots of us at Dreamhaven, and especially Secret Door, love board games and tabletop RPGs. Some of us have been playing them for decades with our friends, and now we're getting to introduce the magic to our families. The team at Secret Door wanted to come up with things to make it
Obtaining some of the magic of that in-person experience, and you know, it's just such a great environment.
Sunderfolk really is a love letter to the genre, just with a twist. The team took the approach of putting the game board
Take it
on a
easy,
shared
Paul.
screen.
Have a good
TV
one,
or
and thanks so much
monitor,
for stopping
and
by,
putting
my
the
friend.
character's actions and sheet or a mobile device.
It is really cool to have that two-screen experience, and now let's take a look at how it all comes together.
Deep below ground, in the dark and fathomless Sunderlands, hope persists in the animal village of Arden, your home. For many seasons, the Life Tree has protected Arden. But all is not well in the Sunderlands. The Sunderfolk of your village look to you, the guardians of this town, for aid.
I bet you lose, John.
Carry the seed of hope close, and forge ahead into darkness in search of answers.
I'll ruin you and your whole sun curse.
Is the audio too loud?
Oh, heroes, I am afraid the ogres were just the beginning.
You know what they say? A monster a day keeps the monsters away.
Oh dear, Shadowstone everywhere.
Damn you.
So
Paul.
powerful.
Get out of here, Paul. Get out of here.
Arden has protected.
Too soft? It's quite loud.
Disappointing.
You will test your resolve, face unfathomable threats,
Find camaraderie and employ impeccable strategy. But your adventure's just getting started. And like any good adventure, this one is best shared.
Hey, it's coming on Xbox. Let's go. No one's buying it.
So not only is Sunderfolk coming out on April 23rd, you also have a first look demo that is available on GeForce Now today.
That's right. The demo includes all of Sunderfolk's playable characters and game features, as well as the first few missions.
Okay, great. Well, I'm looking forward to checking that out, and now we're going to move on.
Do you know,
to
I
another
actually
game
tried to buy the
which they
TLU
announced
controller,
last year at Gamescom Opening Night Live.
and
People didn't
Sony
know
would
it
not
was
let me buy it.
Dreamhaven at the time, and we are talking, of course, about Linked Banner of the Spark.
Yep, we're publishing Linked Banner of the Spark from a fantastic indie developer called FuzzyBot.
For those of you that aren't familiar with Linked, it is probably the most charming robot apocalypse game out there. It's a lighthearted action game, but it also has town building elements in it. It's chaotic and cozy in all the right ways.
Linked has a small and devoted community, and FuzzyBot has been adding a ton of new content over the last few months.
Off the world and gameplay.
Does anyone see Jeff Keighley's face when he's like sitting there going, "Someone please get me out of here. Like now. Please. Someone help me." Yeah. I'm gonna put the volume down a little because I don't want to get demonetized. Although I probably am going to get demonetized. It's the problem with these shows. The moment anything has a bit of music in it, it's off with your head. You're gonna get demonetized.
That Art was linked, and I am very excited to build my Fish and Bot Friend collection as soon as it's out.
Well, you'll be able to play on consoles soon, and for our Steam Early Access players, you can enjoy the brand new content patch today.
All right, well, we've covered a lot of great stuff today, and the reveal of the Moonshot game is coming up in just a minute, but before then, we have one more game to cover. And I hear this is a game that you actually heard about from players in the StarCraft community. Is that right, Mike?
Yeah, one of my friends recommended that I check out this small indie game that launched last September, and after trying the game, I just fell in love with it. And through a stroke of luck, we had the chance to become their publisher. And well, it probably won't surprise you why we love it so much.
All right, well, let's take a look at the trailer from Mechabellum.
Nope. Nope. For you RTS fans, this looks kind of cool. Of course, PC gamers gonna like this. They don't like anything that's not indie. But if you like RTS, this looks kind of cool. Hey, Devastator, how's it going, buddy? Hey, look, I see like sandworm sorts of things. Everyone's buying this, right? Every one of you. Mechabellum! It's out now on Steam.
Mechabellum is a turn-based auto battler, and it still has some strong RTS vibes, though, right?
That's right.
It's an auto battler. It's not even an RTS. Oh my god. It's an idle game.
Developer Game River has been constantly updating it. We not only fell in love with Mechabellum, but also the team.
What misinformation? What baiting was that?
Being part of it.
And since it's on Steam now, I guess, right? 'Cause it came out in September, so people can pick it up today if they want to check it out.
Absolutely. You can pick up the base game or the premium edition, which launches today. And those who want to try before they buy can participate in the free play weekend that is starting on April 4th.
All right, well, we've seen 3 games today, but we do have one more for everyone, and this is something really special, a global reveal. Last summer, I got to come down here and do a playtest of this title.
The guy on the left seems really, really excited about all of this.
Mike, this is the first title from Moonshot Games.
Yes. And as much as
Hey, look, it looked like an RTS, man. That looked kind of cool. I didn't know it was an idle game. Don't hate the messenger.
I'm Jason Chase, studio head at Moonshot.
And I'm Dustin Browder, game director at Moonshot. Now, imagine a dangerous place at the edge of the galaxy.
I blame Cantarella.
Called the Typhon Reach. It's like a cosmic scale Bermuda Triangle with cosmic storms, quantum meteors, and treacherous monsters, all guarding the most prized objects in the universe, the ancient artifacts of the primes.
And this is where you come in. We need you to assemble your crew, choose your starship, and risk it all in a chaotic adventure where the only plan is the one you make up as you go.
Let's see what lies in the most dangerous corner of the galaxy.
Oh. Okay.
Welcome to the Reach, a vast realm of discovery and brutal explosion.
I do not.
But hey, I'm sure you'll be fine.
Drive into the Reach.
Now you're gonna need a tough team.
Time to break something.
This could actually be fun.
And an even tougher ship.
Quality upgrade.
Keep her flying, and you'll find wonders beyond your wildest dreams.
Oh yeah.
While
I mean, yeah, Brick. That's actually RTS, right? GFL 2. It's available on Steam, free to play. Go check it out.
So get ready. When your airtight plan goes out the airlock,
Into the fray.
improvise. Use your turrets.
Stealing their stuff.
Hell, use their turrets. Traps, tractor beams, big red buttons.
Overloaded their reactor.
Because the Reach gives.
Resources in. Coming in hot.
And the Reach takes.
Damage! Major damage!
Can't promise fame and fortune here.
Mine layer here.
Or that you'll even make it back.
Get to the gate. Go, 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 go.
But I can promise this.
That's my artifact.
It's gonna be one hell of a story.
Is this like an extraction shooter? Halo looks different.
Wildgate is a crew-based shooter that takes place in the far reaches of space, where 20 players across 5 ships face off to secure the valuable artifact and escape.
Or you can choose violence and opt for an elimination win, working together with your fellow prospectors to destroy every other rival crew in the Reach through ship versus ship combat.
And even if combat isn't your thing, there's tons to do and discover, as you and your crew will need to scout out and claim resources, as well as your path out of the Reach through a nearby Wildgate.
With the other 4 ships all
Yeah, it's an extraction.
you can expect to face some pretty intense matches. And space crimes. Lots of space crimes. The Reach is ever changing, and the map layout for each game is procedurally generated, so no 2 games will play the same.
Over the last year, we've had the privilege to host some small tests behind closed doors, and we're now ready to kick off our very first public playtest.
Alright, chat, your job is to sign up and let me know how good or bad the game
Thanks
is.
so much for watching. But before we go, let's take an even deeper look into the Reach.
I want to tell you about a place called the Typhon Reach. It's not for the faint of heart, but it's where legends are made. Legends like the Gamma Gang. They did a smash and grab on the artifact like nobody's ever seen. But first, let's back up. How'd they even make it this far? When you're in the Reach, you're after one thing. The artifact. The most valuable object in the known universe. And if
Just
you're
looks like a ball.
stupid enough to go after it, you won't be alone. Be the first crew to find it, snatch it, and pass through the Wildgate, or be the last crew left standing. It all starts with your ship. Whether you're mining asteroids, scanning for loot, or battling borders, the right ship.
Halo Wars was an RTS.
In the fight to stay alive.
You had the original Halo Wars, I think, was an RTS. Halo Wars 2, I think, was a twin stick shooter.
Or go small with a hunter.
Space butthole.
Just don't get caught because those shields will not last. Remember, your ship is your lifeline. You lose your ride, it's mission over. Your crew, on the other hand, can handle whatever the Reach throws at them. Armed with the right weapons, tools, and special skills. It's all hands on deck. That's one thing the Gamma Gang understood. It's not about sticking to one.
Alright, chat, my question to you. What do you think is the chances that this game is going to be successful?
Keeping the engines running, putting out fires. Every crew member counts. Because when things start to heat up, it's either you or them.
I think on PC this has a really good chance of being successful. On console, I don't think it's got a chance in hell.
Asteroids and space mines. To get a handle on what's out there, you're gonna need to scout ahead. Probes are your best bet to map the area. Locate hazards, supplies, and hidden treasures. It's also how the Gamma Gang stayed one step ahead of the other crews. Fuel and ice. Without them, the job gets a lot tougher. If your reactor overheats, you'd better have ice on hand to cool it down. And fuel gives your ship the extra boost it needs for a quick getaway. Running out won't leave you stranded, but trust me, without it, you're as good as Reach dust. If you want to pull this off, you'll need the best loot.
What do you mean it's on Xbox so low?
The Reach are lost caches of cutting-edge ship upgrades. powerful weapons, and gear that gives you the upper hand. But do not get cocky. The better the goods, the tougher they'll be to grab. This place is teeming with vicious little surprises.
I don't know, I just don't see this being that successful on console.
Those other prospectors could crash the party at any moment.
I see this as a good PC game. It'll appeal to that audience. I just don't see it appealing to the console base.
They'll do everything they can to try to sabotage you. Don't let them.
No Man's Sky isn't a PvP game though.
Back to the big score. The artifact. You never know where it'll pop up, or what kinds of hell you'll have to go through to get it. Many prospectors went in that day, but only the Gamma Gang came out. But it wasn't over yet. They made a mad dash for the Wild Gate, and the other crews were hot on your tail. Which brings us back to here. Now, the Gamma Gang did...
They went full circle.
But I never said they made it through. They had the guns, the fuel, the upgrades. The plan was perfect. Or so they thought. Because there was one thing they didn't expect. Me. That's the reach, kid. I didn't play fair. And you don't have to either. Because out here, the only plan that counts is the one you make up on the fly.
That's brutal. It's so brutal.
All you guys are excited as I am about Wildgate. I cannot wait to jump in more and do as Dustin said, some space crimes.
You and me both. The Moonshot team put so much care into making sure the world isn't just fun to explore, but that the matches are challenging and in most cases, unpredictably hilarious.
Well, I cannot wait, as I said, for more people to go. And this is really a game you have to play to really get all the excitement inside of it. All right, well, that kind of wraps up the show, but let's recap what we've talked about so far. The Sunderfolk demo is on GeForce Now right now. Mechabellum launches a premium edition today and a free play weekend next month. Linked is currently in Steam Early Access and coming soon to consoles.
And you can sign up for Wildgate's community preview playtests. It's really a more the merrier kind of game, so encourage your friends to sign up too.
And what I love about all the games, Mike, is that you're showing real gameplay on them. I know you had to wait. We had to wait a while to see them, but it's been worth it. And it's clear that Dreamhaven is kind of not making just one kind of game, a whole bunch of different experiences. But they're
Yeah,
all
I'd say
united by the
Sea of
idea
Thieves is
kind of
comparable, yeah.
friends and family.
I couldn't agree more.
It's just Sea of Thieves doesn't have the extraction, right? This still at its core is an extraction
Absolutely. I
game.
am excited. This is only chapter 1 for Dreamhaven, and we can't wait to hear more.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all online.
See you later.
That's it. That is it. That, my friends, is it. Oh, as some people were saying, by the way, Stein has said, I told you people were going to complain about this and cry about it. I've seen some questions, so just to clarify, you don't have to do this. It's fully optional or not some forced UI change. Also, the point is testing is feedback. Your A buttons are saved another press. I told you people were going to cry about it. I told you people were going to cry about this. I told you. Literally. What? Oh shit. Oh no. Oh snap. Oh Snapchat. Assassin's Creed Shadows isn't the hit Ubisoft desperately needs, the analyst says. Is this? Oh no, let's go up here. So apparently Hassan Dahan is saying, playing Assassin's Creed Shadows once more. Get in now for gaming. Elon Musk says he's a fraud. Sellout would be more accurate. Objectively, he is promoting a terrible game just for the money. And then the Assassin's Creed official channel says, is that what the guy playing your Path of Exiles 2 account told you? Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Man. Oh, my God. Oh, man, that was good. That was good. That was good. That was good. I like it. I like it. That was way shots fired. I like it. Everyone is talking about it at the moment. That clapback. Oh shit. That was ridiculous. I like it, man. I like it. Oh well. Shall I think we've covered everything I wanted to talk about today? Anything you want to add? Have you heard the controller trailer being banned? Why is it being banned? There was nothing revealing about it. I mean, it was a little spicy, but nothing crazy. That's weird. That is weird. I don't know. I made a video on the latest trailer earlier today. I think it was thing. I think it was cool. Steam Defying Fate. Not Steam Defying Fate. Vindictus Defying Fate, for those interested. Steam Alpha Test is coming in the summer. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I think that's it. Did you guys hear about, before I finish, I think it's Jay Bari and Persona, they're closing their channel. They're done. They're calling it quits on their 200th episode. You should post a couple in the Discord, Bricks. I'll have a look. See what it's all about. Oh god, where are you sending me? Oh god, didn't he make this today though? This will be something for Thursday.
Hey there, gamer.
What did they say? They told him, is that what the guy playing your Path of Exile 2 account told you? They literally turned around and just said, nope. Not today, buddy. Not today. Let's close these tabs because we're done with these. All of these. We're done with that one too. Alright, so how many of you want to watch a react to DCG before I head out? Oh, that nasty. Oh, I would be pissed. Oh, no. I would be pissed. I would be pissed. You spend £250 on that, and it comes like that. I would be pissed. I'm only going to have time for one tonight, Brick. And there's no music on that one, hopefully. Let's check out this DCG video and then we'll call it there. All right. Let's check this out. Alright. Let's see what this dude has to say. Let me stop the background music. Actually, I can't be bothered. Let's just keep it going. Alright. You should hear everything. Apparently, another Xbox game better on PS5. I mean, that's obvious. Well, not better on PS5, it's better on the Pro. But anyway, let's see what they say.
First Dreamcast guy here, and today we're talking about Indiana Jones because this came out last year. It was, in my opinion, is one of the best Xbox games we've gotten this entire generation. It's fantastic. It's fun. It's adventurous. It's got crazy side quests and world building. I don't even like the Indiana Jones movies that much. This is the game where...
How can you not like the Indiana Jones movies? Come on. Everyone in my chat can truthfully say that they love the Indiana Jones movies. And if they say they don't, they absolutely hate Gears of War. So clearly everyone is going to say that they love Indiana Jones.
Where it is so fun, it made me appreciate the character of Indy more. I mean, that's how legit good it is. Well, they just announced the PlayStation 5 release date, but that's not all. It's going to be better on the PlayStation 5, and that feels weird. I am definitely buying it a second time, but...
It's also better on my PC. In fact, it's... What do you mean? Oh, so what you're saying, Steve, is that it's Gears of War's crap. Okay, I get it. The three Indiana classic movies are goated. Exactly, Woodpit. Exactly. But, I mean, the best place to play Indiana Jones is on PC. I mean, if anyone has seen this game running with path tracing, that is the... Literally, this is the first game that I've seen that has made me want to get, you know, a really high-end 4090, 5080, 5090 graphics card. This game with path tracing looks absolutely jaw-droppingly beautiful. Like, I know people often say it doesn't make that big of a difference and people don't care. Believe me, on this game, it makes the world of difference.
Let's take a look at the goods, the bads, and their reactions to it, because it does feel like a lot of PlayStation people that originally were saying, oh, the game doesn't look that good, a lot of people seem to be celebrating this PS5 release date. Let's get into it. Hi, hope you're having a great day, and if you could, please, give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already.
See, I've never understood that, right? Let people watch the content, maybe halfway through, ask for a like or subscribe to your content. You know, give people a reason before they say it. I usually put mine towards the end, but I think the middle is the perfect spot. If they've made it to the middle of the video, they're probably going to make it to the end. at that point, it's a good place to remind them that, subscribing will help your channel. Because people often forget to do it. But doing it at the beginning, statistically, it actually puts people off.
So, Bethesda's been teasing this with some pictures and videos and stuff. So here it is. It was actually just announced a minute ago with a short little video of Nolan North and Troy Baker kind of talking about the game and the active adventuring. A lot of the replies, though, are saying, this is ridiculous. Where is Elder Scrolls 6? People are making jokes about Elder Scrolls 6 a lot in the comments, but it does feel like...
Hey, I've got that collector's edition. Literally that collector's edition. I don't have the controller, though. I wish I could buy that controller. I really want that controller, but I don't have it. But the globe is pretty cool, and you've got like a magnetic clip with the airplane that unlocks it. You've got the artifact as well, which has the code on the back. The metal case is really nice. It basically just has the artifact inside it. But yeah, I really want that controller. I wish, the design lab actually sold it, but they don't, which is a real shame, because they don't even sell, the actual leather style text front plate on it. They just don't do it. It's almost like Microsoft doesn't like money. Like, why not offer that design and just, if people want to, let them buy it? It's so weird. But this dude is like my hero, right? He's got like a whole Batcave of Indiana Jones. I wish I could have something like that. I don't have the room for it, and my wife would definitely not let me have something like that in my house. Not in the sitting room, anyway.
The Indiana Jones fans are absolutely thrilled. This is the special collector's edition of it. I like this guy's room. This dude is definitely an Indiana Jones mega fan. But this is the short and sweet of it. I got to admit, it is very bizarre to see the official PlayStation Twitter account talking about an Xbox exclusive, but this is just the current age. Here it is, April 17th, 2025. So what is that?
I didn't get that either, right? We've seen a lot of Xbox games now go over Forza Horizon, Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi Rush, and there's, a bunch of others are going as well. It's not weird anymore. I think the first couple, like when Doom got announced, that was a bit weird. When Indiana Jones first got announced, that was a little bit weird, but now I think it's starting to become the norm, and I think more people just don't care. The point I'm making, it's only PlayStation fans now that think it's weird. I think everyone else that's around outside of that PlayStation bubble have just moved on and said, you know what, this is what Microsoft are doing. We're getting the games they want on Game Pass. Happy days. Moving on. It's really weird how they still try to get that reaction, that trigger, and I don't know. I think it's really sad.
Exactly 3 weeks from when I'm recording this video, I want to take a look at the replies. Yeah, Big W. Just a reminder. Phil
Steve
Spencer
can put that poll
originally
up.
said it'll just be 4 games going from Xbox to PlayStation 5. Amazing game. Happy birthday, Bloodborne. Oh yeah, this is the 10th anniversary of Bloodborne. I mean, it'd be nice if PlayStation acknowledged that, but I guess we're just not going to do that. I'll be buying both this and Forza Horizon 5 to show Microsoft needs to continue putting their games on PlayStation. Can't wait for Halo and Gears of War next. So, this does feel like that big change. We've known for the fact that every Xbox game is going to PlayStation, but the thing I'm curious about the most is that this game, we don't know how well it sold on Xbox, but it doesn't seem like it exactly burned up the sales charts. Some people bought it, but even the people that did buy it, it seemed like they mostly played it on Game Pass. That makes sense.
The problem with Indiana Jones, when it dropped at the same time as Path of Exiles 2. And Path of Exiles 2 broke the internet for PC gamers. They just weren't going to play Indiana. And I know I've raised this time and time again, multiple times in fact, where releasing your game at the right time is really important. And, Ubisoft saw this with their release of Assassin's Creed Shadows. By releasing it in March where it's not crowded, they actually got a really good turnout. it's really unfortunate for, Machine Games that when they released this on, when it first came out on PC and Xbox, Path of Exiles dropped at the same time. And honestly, I think it would have sold way better than it did on PC if Path of Exiles hadn't dropped. But everyone on PC was playing Path of Exiles. That was like the game for the time, and no one was playing anything else. It's, it pretty much got the Horizon Elden Ring treatment, which is a shame. I think that really hurt it. I bought the collector's edition, but it could have done so much better.
It's the whole idea of Xbox Now is that it's not about just straight up buying discs. It's about, hey, subscribe to the service, even when there isn't.
What's really interesting right now is that all those people that are crying that if there's no physical, I'm not buying it, yet the game is still #1 pre-ordered game on PlayStation right now, so clearly... And there's no physical for this, by the way. The disc doesn't work inside the box. You get a disc, but it doesn't boot the game. You need to connect to the internet to download the rest of the game. Microsoft didn't put the whole game on the disc. They could have, but they didn't.
Another game coming out to subscribe to the service. So it is going to be interesting to me how well this ends up selling on the PlayStation 5. I mean, it seems like they're not really doing that much marketing. I mean, a tweet 3 weeks before launch, a bit strange, but here's the other part of it. There are, on some browsers, they have the actual little label that says PS5 Pro Enhanced. Now, to be clear, Indiana Jones is already a very good-looking game. I think it has some...
It's a stunning looking game. Even on Xbox, it looks really nice. Of course, running on that 4090 with path tracing, chef's kiss. Like I said, this is the first game that I've seen that's made me genuinely want to buy a 4090. That path tracing, it's something else, man. I know people are talking about ray tracing right now, and they're really excited for ray tracing, but path tracing is on another level. And yes, it makes a difference, and yes, it makes the games look way better, and yes, in my opinion, it's worth the investment. If you are an enthusiast that wants the best of the best, it's worth the investment. I just can't afford it. So I am going to go and pimp my kidney out. It was a joke. I'm not going to do that. You can stop buffering.
Some of the most realistic worlds. It's got really full maps. It's got cool little side quests. It's essentially, if you haven't played the game, honestly, you definitely need to buy it on PC, Xbox, on PlayStation 5. But the way it worked is that there were multiple big quest hubs. And on those hubs, you could kind of go in any direction and do side quests and find collectibles and stuff until you get to the main story that lets you progress to the next area. Really damn good game. My God, there's a reason I put it in my top 10 best games of the year. But I want to see if they'll fully implement the new PS5 Pro technology. A bunch of videos and stuff I've made this year about how the PS5 Pro is actually really, really, really damn good at just making shadow effects, about pumping up frame rate, about making it extra high resolution. I want to see if Microsoft is using that technology to really make the best version of their games on the PlayStation.
No, because PlayStation 5 Pro cannot do path tracing. PlayStation 5 Pro cannot compare, as much as J-Dub wants it to a 4090. It cannot compete with PC. End of story. No matter how much you want to say this, no matter how much you want to think that it can, no matter how much you believe monologuely that the PS5 Pro can compete with the best of the best PCs, it cannot. And therefore, it's not going to give you the best experience. Devastator, wasn't Indiana Jones best-selling in December? I'm actually not sure. I know it didn't do hot on Steam. So I don't know if it did well on the Xbox store, but I think it only had like 12,000 concurrent players on Steam, which wasn't that great. It got really, really hampered by Path of Exiles 2. But Pro has been 5070. No, 5070 is nowhere near a 4090.
It is interesting to think about the fact that Forza is coming out 2 weeks after that, so maybe some of the most hyped, talked about games in April are not going to be Xbox games on Xbox. They're going to be Xbox games on PS5. A bit strange, but the final thing I want to talk about is, in my opinion, the biggest L of this. So this is the collector's edition we had on the original Xbox, right?
And there on the top right, the Order of the Giants is the name of the DLC. I'm guessing that DLC name is subject to change. That Adventure Journal is kind of cool. The artifact piece is really nice. It's, you know, the fact that they gave you the name the All-Maker Relic is a bit of a story giveaway. It's a bit of a spoiler. But yeah, I don't think I actually used the Temple of Doom outfit. I kind of preferred the in-game stuff. The outfits and stuff just kind of felt not really right. But the Jumbo Steelbox case is pretty cool. I really like that. And obviously you've got the relic inside that box. The book is inside the actual world globe. It lifts up. And inside that PS5 box is a disc that has half a game. So much for people wanting their physicals.
So we already knew this. This is the special deluxe edition. You can buy it. It comes with a globe. You can pay for the special digital edition that gives you 2-day early access, that kind of stuff. But if you read the fine print, which honestly, this picture, you can't see it. It's so teeny tiny. But if you zoom in down here, it says that the disc doesn't really have anything on it. Like, it does, but it's basically an install key. Internet connection required to download the game and content. It straight up says that. It is straight up just saying, hey, you'll be able to play it offline after you've bought it, after you've installed it. But I am annoyed about any time a company sells you a game now that has, do I have a physical game? Here we have a physical game. Anytime a company sells you a disc that doesn't work with an internet connection, then the disc is fake. It might as well just be a coupon code, because at that point, the disc is just for show. I hate the fact that everybody does this here and there, but I do feel like Xbox has been by far the worst culprit. I don't think Redfall was digital only, and now...
Look, Xbox has been going full digital for a long time. They've gone down this trajectory for ages. You know, that's a perfect freeze frame as well, by the way. But to think that they're not actually going to go down this route for PlayStation as well, are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? Did you think that they were going to give you special treatment? They don't want to do physicals anymore. They lose money. They lose money, so they don't want to do it anymore. They want you to go digital so they make more money.
I guess that game's dead. The studio's dead. Same with Hi-Fi Rush, digital only. So many of these games, even if you are a collector, even if you are a lover of it, it sucks that the box on the shelf is essentially just a ticking time bomb. It is...
Youch. Guy went... I don't even know what to say to that.
Weird to think about the fact that as we get closer and closer to this all-digital future, so many games like Indiana Jones will only exist as long as Microsoft cares to keep the servers light, to keep the downloads available. These have been some off-the-cuff thoughts. To be honest...
Devastator, Dragon Age the Veilguard hit like 70, 80k, right? Assassin's Creed hit 60k. So that's not entirely true. Like I said, I just think Indiana Jones... There's two things that, you know, with Indiana Jones. Number one, my generation loves Indiana Jones. I know who he is. I grew up with Indiana Jones, and that's fine. But my kids couldn't give a rat's monkey's ass about Indiana Jones. You know, they just said they've got no interest. There's no nostalgia there. This game was really created for my generation, for people who grew up with Indiana Jones. And if you play the game, there are so many quips in there and one-liners, and you know, Troy Baker does a fantastic job, like phenomenal job, in recreating Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones, right? He does an unbelievable job in getting all the quirks right. But the younger generation won't get it. And to them, it's just another game. You know, this game, if it was called anything else, may not have even appealed to me. But being Indiana Jones, I love Indiana Jones. So I was going to buy this regardless of what it was, which is why I got the collector's edition. You know, I'm a huge fan. It's a phenomenal game. But people of the younger generation just won't be interested because it's Indiana Jones. It's just unfortunate, but it had a lot going against it. And then with the release of Path of Exiles at the same time on PC, Path of Exiles 2 Early Access, that really stuck a stake in it. Devastator says, Alex says Steam concurrent isn't a good indicator of sales for single player games. Some with most Steam, say with most. I mean, you look at the concurrent users and you multiply that generally by about 5, and that gives you a rough indication, or maybe a little more. That gives you a rough indication of how many it sold.
I'm definitely buying this game a second time. I may just re-review it.
But thank you for that $5
to beat the damn game again. I loved it on Xbox. I'm probably going to platinum it on PlayStation 5, and I'm super curious how it looks on the PlayStation 5 Pro. But how do you feel about Indiana Jones? And have you already played it? I guess that's a real...
I mean, for me, it was my game of the year, through and through. I loved Indiana Jones, and it was my game of the year. The previous year, it was Alan Wake 2. But yeah, last year for me, Indiana Jones, hands down, was the best game I played all year. It was just phenomenal. Apparently that Disney demanding more games was false, was fake news. Whether, you know, I don't know how true that is or not, but apparently it was fake news. Damn, what is that facial expression? Can't I freeze frame without him looking weird?
Real question. Have you tried the Great Circle, and are you, like me, going to be a crazy person and double dip?
No. No. Because I've played it on the best platform that you can possibly play this on. I played it on Xbox and I played it on my PC. And unless the PS5 Pro is going to outperform my 3090 Ti, it's just not going to give me a better experience at 60 FPS. Ah, not a bad video. Not a bad video, I must admit. Definitely not a bad video. I think, you know, hey, if he wants to double dip and give Microsoft more money, all the better, right? But what can I say? It's going to look exactly the same. The whole Pro Enhanced thing literally could mean that they're upping the resolution by 100 pixels. It literally doesn't mean anything until you know what it actually means. So, either way, you know, it's a solid game, and if you haven't played it, I do recommend it. Oh, I absolutely hope that they do more Indiana Jones games. Like I said, I'm a huge fan. I loved the game through and through, and I think the game was phenomenal. I recommend it to anyone. But I understand why, like, the younger generation just aren't interested. All they care about now is Apex Legends, Marvel Rivals, Valorant, Minecraft, unfortunately. You know, those dodgy games. It's a bit of a thing. But yeah. The free movies are great. Man, that still hurts. How pissed would you be if that got delivered to you? Seriously. How pissed would you be? I think I'd lose it. I would be so annoyed. Let me see what it is, because the last video you sent me got me demonetized entirely when it had music in it. That weird anime one. And I'll see how long it is. Yeah.
You in here for backup.
Yeah, it's got some weird music in the background. That is not gonna work. I'm gonna have to put it on mute. Unfortunately, and that's not gonna be good. So, yeah, I think we'll take a pass on that one. I'll check it out in my own time, though. But folks, that is going to be it for today for me. It's been a good stream. Nice to get a Tuesday news-worthy stream out there, which is nice again. I hope you enjoyed the stream last week. That was a gaming stream because there wasn't much to talk about. So played some Assassin's Creed. I'm going to do some Assassin's Creed tomorrow over at Twitch. So if you want to come and see me playing as a perfect ninja as I run through every building and town, completely aggroing everything like any ninja would do, flashing my kunais and everything out there, come check it out. Generally, people have a lot of fun laughing at the way I'm playing because clearly I'm playing as a pro gamer. But otherwise, I'll see you on Thursday. Until then, take it easy, folks. And I'll see you next time. Peace out. And as always, remain legend. Have a good night, folks. By the way, Steve was late tonight. I saw the reason why he was late. I didn't really want to talk about it. I'll catch up with him later. But he was still late.